Hello everyone, welcome to Nelson's English School, Standard 5th, Subject Science. Lesson 10 Essential for Life, Air and Water. We know that air is present all around us. We cannot see or smell air, but can feel its presence when it moves. Air is essential for the existence of life. Atmosphere. Our Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air called the atmosphere. The atmosphere extends to a height of about 300 km above the Earth's surface. As we go higher up in the atmosphere, the amount of air becomes lesser. That is why mountaineers take oxygen cylinder with them. The gravity pulls the layer of air towards the surface of the Earth. Atmosphere. Types of atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Layers of atmosphere. The atmosphere is divided into following layers. Troposphere. It is the lowest layer. All the changes in weather occur here. Most of the oxygen is present in this layer. Stratosphere. Above the troposphere, stratosphere is present. Jet planes fly in this layer because the clouds are rare here. Ozone gas present in this layer absorbs the harmful UV rays coming from the sun and prevents them reaching the Earth's surface. These rays are dangerous and can cause eye problems and skin cancer. Stratosphere, the second layer of the Earth's atmosphere. Mesosphere. This is the third layer. Meteoroids and small rocks moving in space are burnt here. Thus, they do not reach the Earth's surface. Thermosphere. This is fourth layer. Space shuttles move in this layer of the atmosphere. Exosphere. This is the outermost layer. Here, the Earth's atmosphere becomes a part of the space. It contains very little air. Importance of atmosphere. It provides oxygen to all living beings, both plants and animals. It maintains the temperature on the earth for the survival of living things. It burns thermometeoroids before they reach the earth's surface. It protects us from harmful UV rays of the sun. Composition of air. Air is a mixture of many gases. About 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 1% other gases like neon, argon, carbon dioxide and ozone are present in the air. It also contains water vapor and dust particles. Oxygen. All the living organisms need oxygen for breathing. We cannot burn anything without oxygen. So, oxygen is necessary for burning. Air composition. Nitrogen. All living things need nitrogen for their growth, but they cannot use nitrogen directly from the air. Most of the plants take nitrogen from the soil. Nitrogen is added to the soil through fertilizers. Animals get nitrogen from the food they ate. Nitrogen does not support burning. Carbon dioxide. Green plants use carbon dioxide along with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to make their food. This process is called photosynthesis. It is also used in fire extinguishers to put out fire. Water vapor. Water vapor are formed by the evaporation of water from oceans, rivers and lakes because of the heat of the sun. The amount of water vapor present in the air is called humidity. The water vapor can change the weather. It condenses to form clouds, rain, fog and snow. When the amount of water vapor is more in air, the humidity is high and air is said to be humid. When the amount of water vapor is less in air, the humidity is less and air is said to be dry. You feel uncomfortable in humid air because the sweat from your body surface does not evaporate easily. Other gases. Air also contains hydrogen, ozone, helium, neon and argon. Neon and argon gases are used to produce colorful glow in electric bulbs and glass tubes. Besides these gases, air also contains water vapor, dust particles, and smoke. Importance of air. We know that air is necessary for all living things. Let us discuss the importance of air. Air is needed for breathing. All living things, that is plants, animals, breathe. The air we breathe in is called inhaled air. The air we breathe out is called exhaled air. Our body uses the oxygen present in air and gives out carbon dioxide. Thus, exhaled air has less oxygen and more carbon dioxide than inhaled air. It also has more water vapor and is warmer than inhaled air. Air is needed for burning. Air is necessary for burning of things. For example, to burn a candle, paper, kerosene oil and cooking gas, air is necessary. The oxygen gas present in the air helps in burning. Other uses of air. Moving air helps in the formation of different weathers: hot, cold, wet, dry, windy. Moving air helps in movement of gliders, kites, parachutes and sailboats. Air is used to fill football and tubes of tires. Air helps in rotating the blades of windmill and thus is used in generation of electricity. Properties of air. Air occupies space. Air has weight. Air can be compressed. Since the molecules of gases in air are apart from each other, air can be compressed and pushed into small spaces. Air expands on heating and contracts on cooling. When air is warmed, it expands and takes up more space. On the other hand, when air is cooled, it shrinks and occupies less space. Air exerts pressure. You have learned that air occupies space and has weight. Anything that has weight exerts pressure. So air also exerts pressure. The pressure exerted by air is called atmospheric pressure. Importance of air pressure. Air pressure helps in everyday life, like in filling up a syringe and fountain pen, drinking with straw and using droppers. When you drink with a straw, the air inside the straw is removed while sucking. The pressure of air inside the straw becomes less. The air pressure outside at the surface of juice is more. Air pressure on the surface of the juice then forces the juice to move up inside the straw. The dropper also works in the same way. Water. After air, the second most essential thing for our life is water. All living things need water. 3/4 of our Earth's surface is covered with water. Only 3% of total water can be used for drinking. About 97% of water is in the oceans and contains salts. Water. How we get water? We get water from rivers, ponds, lakes and rain. We also get water from ground by using wells, hand pumps, etc. The water in rivers, ponds and lakes, etc. is not pure. Many things like dirt, mud and germs are mixed with water and make the water unfit for use. The substances that make the water unfit for use are called impurities. Impurities are of two types: soluble and insoluble. Soluble impurities. All those impurities that can dissolve in water are called soluble impurities. For example, salts of potassium and sodium. Insoluble impurities. All those impurities that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble impurities. For example, sand, mud, salts of calcium. Removal of impurities from water. Removal of insoluble impurities. Insoluble impurities like sand can be removed by using the following methods. Sedimentation. In this method, a mixture of water and insoluble impurities is allowed to stand undisturbed in a container for some time. The heavy insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the container. This layer of impurities is called sediment. When the impurities settle down, clear water is left above the layer of impurities. This process is called sedimentation. Sedimentation. Decantation. After sedimentation, the clean water is poured gently into a separate container without disturbing the sediment of impurities. This process is called decantation. The rate of sedimentation can be increased by adding chemicals like alum. This is known as loading. Decantation. Filtration. This method is used to separate water from insoluble impurities like sand by using a filter paper. To filter a mixture of water and sand, a cone of filter paper is made and kept inside a funnel. The mixture is poured into the funnel. The sand does not pass through the filter paper and remains behind on the filter paper. This is called residue. The clear water comes out of the filter paper and is collected in the beaker below the funnel. This is called filtrate. This method of purifying water is called filtration. Filtration. Removal of soluble impurities. Soluble impurities can be removed by the following methods. Evaporation. In this method, the solution containing soluble impurities like salt is heated. After some time, water gets evaporated, changes into steam, and the impurities are left behind. Evaporation. Distillation. In evaporation, water mixes into air in the form of water vapor and only impurities are left behind. But in distillation, both impurities and pure water are obtained. In distillation, impure water is heated in a flask. On heating, water changes into steam and impurities are left behind in the flask. The steam passes through the condenser. Here it cools and changes into water again. This water is pure and is collected in a separate flask. Actually, distilled water is the purest form of water. This water is used in car batteries, science experiments, and in medicines. Distillation. Purification of drinking water. Impure water is harmful to us and leads to many diseases. So we must drink pure water. We can purify water by using the following methods. Boiling. Water is heated for 10 minutes. Boiling kills the germs present in water and makes the water pure. It is the simplest way to purify water. Boiling. Chlorination. Addition of chlorine tablets in water to kill germs and to make water pure is called chlorination. Water purifier. Nowadays, electrical water purifier is used to get pure water. In most of the houses, RO water purifier is used. Summary. Air is a mixture of gases. Air occupies space and has weight. Air exerts pressure. The impurities which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble impurities. The impurities which dissolve in water are called soluble impurities. Insoluble impurities can be removed by sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Soluble impurities can be removed by evaporation and distillation. Water is purified by boiling, chlorination, and using water purifier. Distilled water is the purest water. Thank you.